Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Liam is abducted by Bill. Hope and Steffy are horrified. Grace triumphs. Fans may anticipate that Liam Spencer will still be unconscious following the brain surgery in tomorrow's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, according to teasers. But Bill Spencer doesn't waste any time in smuggling his son out of the operating room. Meanwhile, news of the patient's disappearance will circulate. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. First, let's talk about Liam, who recently underwent brain surgery at a private hospital. Liam was under constant pressure from Grace Buckingham to undergo the experimental surgery. She then requested that John Finnegan exert pressure on Liam to decide. Grace went to Bill after the shooting and eventually received approval. There wasn't really time to tell anyone because this procedure was scheduled for the very next day. Grace informed Bill that the surgery had gone quite well. The entire tumor was removed, according to the doctor. She then referred to it as a miracle and appeared really happy. I don't know if it has to do with the tumor or the $1 million transfer she recently got. In addition, there was something strange about her colleague and he seemed much too quiet. Liam will still be unconscious following the procedure. At that point, Bill takes a risk and hurries his son out of the operating room. It's unclear whether Bill took action on the spontaneity of the moment or if he and Grace had this strategy in place from the beginning. In any event, that is extremely risky, and Liam will require 24-hour care. There were numerous hazards associated with the procedure, even if the tumor was completely removed. Liam had already been warned by Grace that he would suffer nerve damage and possibly end up bedridden. According to upcoming episode previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester Finnegan and Hope Logan will still be concerned about Liam. Hope and Steffy will probably learn that Liam is AWOL next since John Finnegan and Bridget Forrester are aware that Grace discharged Liam. Will Bill, however, inform everyone that he is looking after Liam? Is it going to be a secret? Is it possible that Grace may vanish just to serve as Liam's paid caregiver until he recovers? Which of Ridge is nearly getting Sucker Punch's storylines are you most excited to see? According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, it will happen eventually. Ridge Forrester is blatantly displaying to the world his complete lack of humanity. Indeed, many of the show's viewers are left wondering why Ridge would be so angry with Bill Spencer for seeing his dying son, Liam Spencer, at the hospital. He has every right to see Liam since he is his son. However, Ridge is behaving as though he is the hospital's director and wants to have Bill expelled simply because Bill played a crucial role in getting Luna released from prison. Don't you just make sense already? Ridge has almost no role in this plot, yet here he is. Because of this, many fans think it will only be a matter of time until Bill sucker punches him. Naturally, there was a lot of discussion about the issue on the internet. Some even said, Ridge has absolutely no right to tell Bill the things about Liam. Liam is Bill's son regardless of how cruel Bill is. Today's word is empathy. Bill should have followed the example of Curly from the Three Stooges and poked, slapped and smacked Ridge, Steffy and Hope, noted another program critic. Additionally, he ought to have challenged Ridge and Steffy to attempt fulfilling their threats. Additionally, this statement was made. These two are constantly at each other's throats. I can no longer even recall how it began. Turnaround is fair play anyway. Bill didn't care when Thomas was recuperating from brain surgery. And in my opinion, Bill's choices and actions directly caused what happened to his son. This wouldn't have occurred if he hadn't chosen to play God and let the kidnapper/serial killer rot in prison, where she belongs. On weekdays, the CBS network broadcasts The Bold and the Beautiful. Look up the timings in your local listings. Luna, Sheila and Liam are unbreakable. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer still has a tumor that is supposedly deadly and incurable. At close range, however, John Finnegan managed to remove the bullet that Sheila Carter's deranged offspring had shot into his. Wanting viewers are joyously suspending disbelief in order to accept that Liam survived the second bullet fired from Luna Nozawa's illegally obtained weapon, which impacted him in the chest rather than the foot as Sheila. Undoubtedly, it wasn't employed as a mediator. Rather, the ensuing soap opera chaos encompasses everything that daytime audiences find appealing. However, Liam survived Luna's shooting. Rather, he rose from his father's beach house floor, turned into a makeshift summer art school, took her gun, gave his dead guy line in a charming way, and then squeezed the trigger. The impact of the metal entering his body and then shooting Luna down did not instantly kill him, but Liam also lived long enough to reach surgery. How many hospitals in the entire world offer a viewing room where family members or others can see life-saving surgery? Fortunately, Steffy Forrester Finnegan makes University Hospital in this version of Los Angeles, California. Carter Walton and Hope Logan witness Finn saving Liam. Fans might have questioned whether the tumor was eliminated by the bullet, and whether everything would be fixed after the emergency treatment. If true, Luna would probably have later claimed credit for that result. Steffy insisted. She was unable to look Luna in the eye. At the same time, Yamada's character kept pointing the gun at her throughout the fight until Liam came to her aid, but she refused to let her undesired stepdaughter speak to Finn. Wood's character merits praise for being willing to die for her beliefs, and for sticking to her weapons. A distinct flavor was also given when Sheila arrived at the property owned by Bill Spencer. The famous sequence in which Brown's character inadvertently shot Finn while attempting to shoot Steffy, and then intentionally shot her with a second trigger pull in the alley behind Il Giardino was completely reversed. Sheila lost another toe on her already injured foot after taking the initial bullet this time. That proves that one of the most notorious villains in soap operas must be made to walk with a noticeable stride moving ahead. It seems more likely that Steffy will let Sheila have what Luna desired for herself and her grandmother, contact with Finn. Luna passed away while recovering, Lee Finnegan informed Poppy Nozawa. That occurred after Lee successfully pulled the trigger and notified her colleagues that she would take charge, raising the apparent déjà vu question. Is Lee reenacting the incident in which she reported Finn dead but surreptitiously restored his health at a secret location? After acquiring this information and having had time to consider everything that has transpired, Sheila will undoubtedly doubt Luna's death and Lee's claim to it. The audience remembers that Sheila eventually drove Matsuda's character off a bridge, and into what should have been a watery grave after somehow discovering Lee was holding Finn. Given the rumors that Yamada hasn't left the cast, there will be still another unanswered question if Luna's body is promptly cremated. After releasing Luna and almost killing Liam, Bill can be saved. The bold and the beautiful Bill Spencer needs to make amends for his greatest mistake ever, which was securing Luna's release from prison. The unthinkable action almost resulted in the death of his own kid, Liam, and unleashed a psychopath on his friends and family. However, Bill has the ability to turn his life around despite his grave mistake. He's actually already headed in that direction. When Bill got to the hospital, he took the required first step right away, and handled it like a man while Steffy and Ridge reprimanded him for endangering Liam and their family. He accepted responsibility for all that occurred. Bill admitted his culpability in arranging the release of convicted murderer Luna, and accepted responsibility for his conduct. He acknowledged his fault and conveyed his profound and heartfelt apologies for his serious mistake of judgment. Another bold action was insisting on fighting everyone who didn't want him to visit Liam in his hospital room. Despite his somewhat dubious acts and conduct, Bill's perseverance was evidence of his abiding love for his kid. Nobody could prevent Bill from seeing Liam. With tears in his eyes, he acknowledged that he could have lost Liam, and that he would have been responsible. He was determined to make amends if given another chance. Bill felt something after learning about Liam's fatal brain tumor. He confronted his son about the situation and vowed to help him as much as possible. Bill was inspired to act since he is a man who never accepts no. To discover a method to save Liam, he was willing to use all of his resources, including his wealth and influence. In the end, Bill's financial situation will be the pivotal last phase in his transformation. Having the money, the millionaire will do everything it takes to save Liam from certain death. Bill was therefore on board when Grace offered experimental surgery, a very costly treatment, as a means of saving him. In fact, he offered to hand her a blank check without hesitation. To heal his darling son, he will stop at nothing. He approved the treatment after quickly persuading Liam that there was no other way he would survive his brain tumor. Everyone's only option at this point is to wait and pray for Liam's unavoidable life-saving surgery. Come on, does anyone actually think he will die? Bill will be completely redeemed after it is successful and Liam fully recovers.